Boy, do I have a controversial opinion. And it's about reviews. I kind of think numbered reviews are not great. You see these? Some random number assigned to review like it's an empirical scientific study. These are comparatively mild. You see a bunch of reviews that break down very intense specifics about everything. I think it's dumb. Art can't be broken down into hard numbers like that. Like, okay, take The Dark Knight. Why is The Dark Knight a 3 and Madam Web is an 8.5? Do you wonder why? Do you wonder why? Because I picked an arbitrary number to quantify a random opinion that is largely influenced by my own life and my earlier opinion of movies. This is very obviously a joke. But the important part of a review for people who read reviews is this movie good? Why is it good? 8.5 is a great movie. A classic even. Heck, let's give it a 10. Die Hard is a great movie. A classic even. Let's give it a 10. Does me putting them in the same category feel confusing and arbitrary when they're two very different films? Because the most important part of any review is the context of the review. Let's make 8.5 9.5 then. Definitively that makes Die Hard a better movie. Not because of science, because I wanted to prove a random arbitrary point. What I dislike about these reviews is it turns art into a random list checking thing correctly. Does it do this thing correct? I don't know, because film and any sort of art is arbitrary. Out of context, The Lobster has bad acting. In context, it totally fits. If you were to judge acting in The Lobster, you'd give it a 1. If the cinematography, writing, and music were all 10s, but it gets a 1, what criteria are you judging the acting on? Oh, then you have to put it in a review? That's the more important part. It's also incredibly arrogant. I don't know if I've made that clear. It's incredibly arrogant to be able to sit there and declare yourself able to perfectly scientifically figure out what is good and what isn't good by quantifiable numbers, when the reality is you're just some random Joe giving your opinion. You may be an expert in film and know a lot about it, but stuff is just going to still be filtered through you, my friend. I just think we should be honest about that instead of pretending there's some scientific method to all of this. Not stupid numbers, which I hate, partly because it turns criticism into a stupid spectator sport. That's all about numbers and scores. No, I probably didn't convince anybody. As the arbiter of what opinions are allowed on this channel, I'm giving myself a 8 billion out of 1. Try and bring that average down with 1 reviews. By the way, I should point out I have nothing against this review. I just totally picked it arbitrarily because it was like the first thing I saw in IGN. I didn't even read it. I have nothing against really this review. It's the system I'm complaining about, not the critic. There also tends to be a bit of a watering down of these numbers. This is a phenomenon so infamous that TV Tropes has a whole page dedicated to it. That phrase, of course, stems from this kind of infamous review, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. People got very mad that it was rated great. It wasn't rated the 8.9 it deserved. And this is not about the validity of this review. My point is, if it just said great, none of the controversy would happen. This is not a system that's worth it. Say it was good, dang it. Just say it was good. Get rid of these dumb numbers. Thank you for giving me this bit of time. I do appreciate it. In the grand scheme of things, this probably isn't the most important thing in the world. I give it a 5.5367821. I'm going to be honest with you guys for a second, because I said we should be honest about our opinions and what's influencing them. The real reason I'm making these videos specifically is not because I had a desperate need to complain about something and try and rattle my saber to get the world to change. No, this is supposed to be a reminder to myself. This is a meditation, almost. The truth of it is, I saw a review. It was a 7.5 of a show I really love, and I got angry at it. And I was like, how dare you give this a 7.5? And then I had to stop myself and think, well, that's random. That's a good number to get. Why am I upset about that? It's a good review. And then I had to make this video to remind myself, never get upset about random numbers.